Thank you for watching me again. Today I'm going to give some gyan because there's been so much talk where people come and tell me, Varkha, what do I do? I'm a victim of my past. What do I do? I grew up in a family which was not that successful. I grew up in a family which was quite ordinary. So I'm going to give some gyan and I'm going to do it in the form of a story. So let's listen to this story and let's see what we can learn from it. Here were twin boys, boy X and boy Y. Unfortunately, during their birth, their mother passed away. These boys grew up in a family where their father was a good-for-nothing country bumpkin. All he did was womanize, gamble, smoke and drink. Boy X and boy Y grew up with this model of a father in an environment which was quite an unhealthy one. Boy X grew up to be a very successful doctor, very hardworking, very dedicated, did nothing that his father did. In fact, you could say he was an exact opposite of the father. Boy Y also grew in the same environment and grew up to be a carbon copy of his father. Did exactly what his father did, smoked, womanized, gambled, drank. Two psychologists interviewed the boys separately, but both the boys were asked the same question in separate places. Boy X was asked, tell me, how come you turned out to be this way? How come you do nothing that your father does? Was the implied meaning in the question. Tell me, how come you turned out to be this way? Boy Y, by another psychologist, was asked the same question. Tell me, how come you turned out to be this way? The question implied, or rather the meaning implied in that question was, how come you're an exact carbon copy of your father? Listen to the answer. Boy X said, what else could I be? Seeing my father. Boy Y said, what else could I be? Seeing my father. The question was the same. The answers were the same. Boy X said, what else could I be seeing my father? But the meaning he attributed to this answer was, this is what I see, this is what I will never be. I will never put my wife through the troubles my mother would have gone through living with this kind of a man. I will never smoke, womanize, gamble or drink. In fact, I will be nothing of what he is. Boy Y gave the same answer. What else could I be seeing my father? But his interpretation and the meaning to that sentence was, this is all I see, this is all I can be. What do we understand from here? That even though the environment, the role model was the same for both the boys, each one interpreted and gave a meaning to his circumstance in his own unique way. It teaches us that we need not be victims of circumstances. We need not take away from the environment exactly what is happening to us. We can choose. We can choose to be quite the opposite, and that's exactly what boy X did. Every second we interpret and give meanings to things. We are not blackboards on which people can write our story. We have the ability to choose. To choose what? Things that happen around us? Obviously not. What do we have the ability to choose? We have the ability to choose the meaning we will attribute to things when they happen to us. So what can we learn from this? We can learn that we need not be victims of circumstances. We can be victors of our circumstances. And we have a choice every second in our life of how we react to things that happen to us. So next time you're blaming your parents, you're blaming your environment, you're blaming your circumstances, think about the story of boy X and boy Y and pause and ask yourself, can I give a different meaning to my environment and create for me a life that I would like to live? Join me again next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye.